are between third and fourth grade. Third and fifth grade. They are Sam Maxwell, Coulter Hannon, and Seth Heinold. We also have Kinsey O'Keefe in our beginner showmanship. You'll notice our 2018 4-H Achievement Ambassador, Riley McCullough. She's going to walk around with a metal bucket. She is accepting contributions to that bucket for the Master Showmanship prize money that will take place on Friday night. These kids work very hard, and each representative from each species will show all 9 species and take a very tough exam. They work extremely hard all week to prepare, so please donate to that cause. We'd like to thank the sponsors of our Beginner Showmanship Awards. A director's chair has been donated by Dustin and Caitlin Furrow. We also have the Champion Beginner Showmanship Award donated by the Clayton Hannon family, and the Reserve Champion Beginner Award donated by Ron and Sherry Berkey. Thank you so much for your support.
Well, the easy part is going through and judging all those competitive steers and heifers. The hard part's always judging showmanship. And I went through and visited with the kids and just try to give them a tip from a different perspective. And you four do a nice job, and they've asked me to pick a first and a second, or a champion and reserve, and you make my job difficult because you're all very, very competitive, and you're courteous in the ring. Here's a couple other things I want you to think about. I got young kids. My one daughter, my third child, this was her first year in 4-H. Two older kids, third and second year in 4-H. And I struggled with the two older kids. And then this summer, we did something different. When we started working with our cattle at home, we left the show stick in the barn. When we took them out to lead and start setting them up, we quit using the show stick. And doesn't that seem backwards? But my daughter is a little person. I mean, she's not very big. She's about 42 pounds when she's carrying a sack of feed. And handling that show stick at that age is difficult. You need the show stick. And when you're in the barn, scratch them. Get them used to it. That first time you go out of the barn, leave the show stick inside. Teach them to set up in less than 10 seconds with no stick. It's difficult. But if you can do it, when you come into here, that show stick will be a tool instead of a crutch. And you can use it to relax them. You can use it to fine tune them. But control that animal by its head. And that would be the suggestion that I would give you, all of you. We did that this summer out of necessity. It was incredible. It was incredible how quick those kids could get those cattle set up. And I challenge you to try it next time. But you did a really nice job. I've had a lot of fun with all of you all day long. You've been courteous. You're keeping an eye on the judge. You don't have to stare me down, but knowing where I'm at. And there's two that have done really well all day. And I know we're getting tired. And there's a few things that people would change about them, and I understand that. But top to bottom, they've kept their cattle set up the best. And I think at this age, the little check boxes aren't as important to me as keeping the feet and legs the way they belong. And I'll go and I'll pick my winner and then my reserve. And let's put our hands together. This is a tough group right here. Congratulations.
Your champion beginner showman was Sam Maxwell. Reserve champion beginner showman is Coulter Hannon. At this time, we need all advanced beef showmen coming to the makeup arena. We're going to start our intermediate showmanship contest. These are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Our intermediate beef showman, it looks like Sam Maxwell, the winner out of our beginner showmanship contest, is going to come back in for intermediate. We've got Carson Gates, Cody Johnson, Nathan Stoner, Case Gates, Anissa Heinold, David Heinold, Amalia Gates, and Rain Walker. Again, these are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Caden Maxwell is also participating. And McKinley Dushik. Our champion intermediate and reserve champion intermediate showmanship awards are sponsored by the Mark Baird family, the Tom Hannon family, and a director's chair is sponsored by Chris Herzog.
Top 6 in that end will go out, and then you'll pick the top 3 in each division. All right?
So we have a really good problem. There's too many kids that want to participate, so we are going to split this class into 2 heats. The first 6 in line will remain in the ring. The last 6 will be dismissed into the holding ring for now. He will pick the top 3 in this heat, the top 3 in the second heat, and then they'll be brought back in to judge champion reserve.
So I'm excuse me. I'm not going to give any comments right now. I'm going to ask three of you to stay up in the makeup ring, and three of you to you go ahead and put your animals away. I would ask those three that we dismiss that don't make it to the final round to come back and watch that last round of competition when I'm able to talk about some of the things that I've seen. So the three that I want back for the final intermediate lineup will be the odds. So number 1, number 3, and number 5. So young lady with the Hereford, the gent here with the good steer in the middle. I want and you here with the pink shirt on my left. You three stay up in the makeup ring. We're going to give you another chance at it. The three that I asked to leave, thank you for coming out here and competing. It's been a lot of fun. It's really cool that we have to split the division in half. Congratulations.
So we're going to go ahead and have the second 6 come out for the second heat of intermediate showmanship. The 6 intermediate showman exhibitors in this heat are Emma Landfit, Caden Maxwell, Carson Gates, Amalia Gates, Anissa Heinold, and Cody Johnson.
Another really good group. Congratulations for all 6 of you coming out. So we're going to have our final round in this age bracket. I'm going to ask these first 3 kids with the 3 black animals for you to stay for the for the final round of this age division. Congratulations. You 3 have time to take your animals back to the ring, the 3 on my right, or take your cattle back to the barn. And I'd invite you back up as we get done with the final. We'll discuss them a little more detail so you can understand what's going through my head. Thanks for coming out. I love that you wanted to be out here and compete. Congratulations.
The 3 intermediate showmen that will stay for the finals are Emma Landfit, Caden Maxwell, and Cody Johnson. At this time, we need Sam Maxwell, McKinley Dusick, and Nathan Stoner into the show ring. We'd like to make an addition to the announcement of the 10-year award given in Kyle Gustafson's name. Jay Heinold was also a 10-year beef member and will also be a recipient of that award. Our apologies for leaving him off that list. It was an unfortunate accident because Jay has been a very influential 10-year member in this project, so we congratulate him on his 10 years with the Kyle Gustafson Award.
Well, this is a challenging age bracket to sort through. 12 exhibitors. We're down to 6, and I got to pick a champion and reserve. Let's put our hands together. Congratulate this great set of kids. So showmanship, it's hard. It's hard to judge, and it's hard to please everybody. And today you're just pleasing me, and I bet none of you have shown underneath me before. And I know that some people have a checklist, and you got to do this. You got to smile at the judge. You got to have a comb, a gray show stick, and like a checkbox. You got to go through all these things. And that's not how I show cattle. I want you first and foremost to get them set up. I want you to have their feet like they belong. And I want you to think of a concept that we still have in 4-H that I think is important that we keep. If you come out here and I were to ask you why, the correct answer is because I want to win. I want to compete. I want to be as best as I can be. And I commend each and every one of you for coming back out. You have a look or an appearance of a competitor, a fierce competitor. Some of you I can read easier than others, but it's a pleasure to be your official and see that you want to win. And don't let anybody tell you that winning's wrong or an ugly word. It's important in our country that we find our winners. And if we're not the winner, then we study the winner to learn how to be like that. So congratulations to all of you. You have that look. So the ideal showman for me in this age group is someone that has that ability to be confident and want to win. And they get their animal set quickly, and they understand that a first impression is the most impression that you'll give someone, and that you have about 5 seconds, 8 seconds to get them set up before I happen to come around. There's some of you that do that very, very, very well, and it's impressive from my perspective to watch it. I don't care if you have a colored up show stick. I don't care if it's gray or black or I want you to use the equipment that you're the most comfortable with, because I don't want you. This morning I searched for 20 minutes to find this belt. This is the belt that I like to wear. And if you have a stick or a comb like that, then that's what I want you to be the most comfortable that you can be. And so those are some of the ideas that I have as you are showing cattle. I like to see the lead strap hanging straight down. I want you to be so confident and comfortable you can lead them one-handed, because that displays the confidence that you are a winner. And don't be afraid if your animal is being cantankerous. I don't want you hitting them. But if you need to tap them on the nose and let them remember that you're in charge, if you can do that in a way that you can explain it and defend it to someone who's not around beef cattle, then I'm all for it. I don't want you hitting them, but you know what I mean when we tap them on the nose. It's like giving a toddler a little tap on the bottom. And don't be afraid to do that in showmanship. Don't be afraid to do that in the ring. You 6 are really good. And, when I judged your steers and I judged your heifers, I'll be honest, the whole time that I'm evaluating those cattle, I'm trying to beat them. It's easier to be critical of them than it is to be appreciative of them. So I'm trying to find faults, and I'm trying to beat them. The champion heifer, the champion steer, the reserve crossbred steer, I wanted to beat them to make my job easier. That's not the case in showmanship. I'm your biggest fan right now. And I want you to do really, really well. And I mean that. And it was a lot of fun for me to evaluate. My winner is really quick on getting them set up. He has a really good idea of what the show ring is and where I'm at and where that person wants to be. And they're a fierce competitor. I'll go congratulate my champion, and then we'll get our reserve. Thanks for having me. This has been a fun group to sort through.
Champion intermediate showman is Caden Maxwell. And your reserve is Cody Johnson. Anyone competing in advanced beef showmanship should be in the holding ring now. These participants are in 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. Okay, so we're gonna cut this off at the first 6, and then we'll bring the next 4 in and do 2 heats like intermediate. Exhibitors participating in this first heat of Advanced Showman are Caden Maxwell, Jason Heinold, Lauren Maxwell, David King, and Ruth Stoner. Our Champion Advanced and Reserve Champion Advanced Showmanship Awards are sponsored by Belstra Milling and Heinold Feeds, and their director's chair for the champion is sponsored by Pam DeVos. Thank you so much for your support of these awards.
So this group here is really competitive and really really close. There's 5 excellent showmen, but I'm tasked with whittling it down and finding a champion and reserve. And in the way that I see how you all rank and compare to one another, I think the most logical thing for me to do is to ask the 2 gentlemen on each end, first and fifth, if you would come back for the next round. I invite you back to compete again. You 3 in the middle are so close that I either got to keep all 3 of you. You all do a really good job, and thanks for coming out. There's a couple fine things that we can make an adjustment on, but thanks for competing. Congratulations. Let's put our hands together. Another good set of kids.
The 2 participants from that class coming back for the finals are Jay Heinold and Caden Maxwell. The five participants in the next heat can now enter the show arena. Molly O'Keefe, Josie Kreider, Daniel Heinold, and Hayden Landfit. And Reese Gates.
Again, let's put our hands together. Another good group of kids. And I'm going to do it like I did last time. And the gentleman on my far right, the young lady on my far left, will ask you to come back in this next round for the champion seniors. You three in the middle, congratulations. Thanks for coming out. You do a nice job showing cattle. You make my job tough. Thank you.
The two participants from the second heat of advanced showmanship are Reese Gates and Josie Kreider. They're going to stay in the ring, and we're going to have Caden Maxwell and Jason Heinold come back for the championship heat. Our judge today has been Mr. Toby Jordan of Rensselaer, Indiana. He has done just an exceptional job working our cattle and working with our youth today. He's done a thorough work on the mic, and we're just really, really humbled that he would come and evaluate our cattle today. So let's give him a round of applause and thank him for his work today.
We get up to this spot, it gets pretty challenging. And I know if you're sitting ringside and watching this, you probably have your favorites, and I think that's great. We all, have a little bit different take on what it takes to be a show person. What's hard for me is to understand which of these animals are exhausted and not doing their best, and is that because of the guy or gal, I'm sorry, on the halter? Is that something we can't control because we're getting to the end of the day, and I get that. But the big ribbons are always at the end of the day and not the front of the day. So that makes it challenging as your official to really sort through and pick a champion and a reserve. Couple things. and I'm going to be critical. I don't want to get anyone upset. You always know where I'm at, and I appreciate that. But you don't have to stare me down. I'm going to be right here. I ain't going anywhere. Mr. Bloom said I had to stay until it was over. But make sure that you understand where you are in the ring. That's what I would challenge you to do. If I was sticking that heifer, I'd have her away from that fence another 2 or 3 steps closer to me, because you set the whole pace for everybody else. And if you had her closer to me, if I so choose, I could walk around her. You did the same thing up here, and that's what I would do to be critical of the way. But you're a pleasure to have in the ring. It always feels good when you come out here to show, and thank you for coming. And I wanted to be critical of each and every one because we're at a different level now. Gentlemen, next, you do a nice job showing cattle. I know he's getting a little tired of this, and I get it. But I want you to be more exact on the feet placement. I want you to be more precise. Get him set up and figure out a way to get him calmed down. I can't give you the magic potion, but sometimes you're not set as good as you could be. When we lead, if it wasn't you, I apologize, but drop that lead strap one-handed. You're a big, stout kid. You'll be fine. It displays confidence. The gentleman that keeps bumping up, we've talked about him over and over. You didn't know that I was going to make fun of you in front of the whole crowd, did you? But you're out here with the big kids, and I have the mic, and that's what we get to do. You do an excellent job showing cattle, and I meant what I said to you over here a little bit ago. I love having you in the ring. You always get them looking top-notch each and every time. From the very beginning, when we were showing those junior calves, you had them looking just right. Some people say showmanship starts at the barn, or some people say it starts the first class. It started at home a long time ago, and I can tell you've been working at it for a long time, and I appreciate your effort. If I can be critical of the way that you show, we've been trying to work the ring the same way every time, and I don't know if it's the way I'm reading you or if sometimes you're not sure where we're going, but I want you to understand the ring, and most guys will try to do it the same way all day. There's been a couple times when you're leading out, you're getting way, way over here, and we need to keep that circle big because some of these classes have been large. But if I was to compliment you again, you get them set in seconds, and that's amazing. Congratulations. You do a nice job. Down here on the end, you're fun to have in the ring, and I know what you're wanting to say about her right now. I know the words that you wish you could say on the microphone, but you can't really tell. You've kept your cool the whole time. She's getting stubborn. She's not wanting me to talk about you, and you want this to be over with. But you're amazing, and I hope there's some other kids that can watch the demeanor of this young man as the frustration builds, but his face, he hasn't embarrassed himself or anyone. He's been professional. He's worked harder than the rest of you because he's got one that's kind of tough. You know, I almost thought about switching you, and I know a lot of people do. I don't know if that's always fair, and I know some people ask a lot of questions. I don't know if that's always fair. I want to get the cattle shown, and that's my goal in showmanship. We can have a quiz bowl. I do expect you to know the ages of the breeding females and the weights of the commercial cattle and the market animals, and I think that goes without saying. But you've been a professional to be in the ring. You've been a lot of fun. You do a great job showing cattle, and as we get tired, it's hard to keep her under control. And again, like I've said before, try to get those feet set closer and keep her calm. I know it's hard. I've been there. So that's how I see them. And this is very difficult because you four are very, very good. But thanks again for having me. We'll go pick our winners. And thanks for everybody for coming out and competing.
Your champion advanced showman is Jason Heinold. And your reserve is Caden Maxwell. We have Emma Johnson entering the ring to compete for Supreme Showman. The winner of this competition will hold the title of Supreme Showman 2018. We're going to have our 4-H Achievement Ambassador, Riley McCullough, come around with a showmanship bucket. She's going to collect any donations you may give, and that will go into the cash prize for the Master Showmanship winner on Friday night. Whoever represents each species in that showmanship competition Friday night will show all 9 species from rabbits on up to horses, and they will take an exam. It's a very tough competition, and we want to reward these children appropriately for participating, so please consider giving to the bucket. We have several Supreme Showmanship Award sponsors that we need to recognize and thank. The award for Supreme Showmanship is sponsored by the Am family. The Andy Maxwell Memorial Award for Champion Supreme Showman of $250 is sponsored by the Andy Maxwell family. There is a $100 savings bond sponsored by Richard and Janelle Hannon family. So thank you all for your support of our showmanship.
Wow. Does anybody want to vote? Should we pass a hat around? No, I'm joking. You two are excellent. You're fun to have in the ring. Your demeanor and the way you handle cattle, really professional. And you and I have talked a couple times already, and you are a pleasure. And that heifer's acting a lot better now, and that's fun. I can imagine. Great job. I really can't. I have nothing else to offer as far as help. You're at a level so high, and we talked about a couple things, and you got her to calm down. Congratulations. You did a nice job showing cattle. The young lady over here, you know what the cool thing about, I don't even know how this happens, but I don't hardly notice you. I'm always looking at him. And that's how it should be. Congratulations. You have a way about your posture, your mannerisms. I don't know what it is, but you kind of blend in, and my eye is on him. Now, he's really cool, and we both like him really well. But there's something about the way you present cattle that makes me notice your animal, and that's what we're after. I wish I could teach that. If someone taught you that, I want their phone number so I can have them come talk to my kids. If you know how to teach it, please come to Rensselaer and help me, because that is tremendous. You're covering up that front foot that keeps turning out. And I caught you once, and hey, whatever it takes, we're here to win. I notice that you're trying to find every single thing that you can do to make towards your advantage to win. And in a professional way, congratulations. Let's put our hands together one more time. This is a great pair of kids. I want to thank the crew at Porter County again. This has been a blast for me. I know it's been a long day, but the bleachers were full during those championship drives. And that says a lot about this project and your program. Congratulations. Thanks again. This has been a blast for me, a time of my life.
Your Supreme Beef Showman is Emma Johnson. Emma is so exceptional at what she does. She is already representing the sheep barn in our Master Showmanship contest on Friday night. So Jason will represent the beef barn in the Master Showmanship contest on Friday night. These kids are pretty awesome, folks. That's a good problem to have. Thank you so much for coming and enjoying our show today. Thank you to the committee and the ring help and the gate guys and the judge. Please remember, if you have not made your declarations yet, you need to do so. Please rug and arena. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next year.